Good evening, everybody here, and welcome to Trading Within the Box here on August 21st, 2025 here. And we're going to be going over some stuff and a lot of stocks and a lot of indices, and we're going to figure out exactly what's happening. First of all, this is not a recommendation to buy, hold, sell any stocks, futures, any equities, any Forex or options. This is an educational video only. If you'd like to purchase stocks, please contact a licensed professional and they will help you there. Let's get to it. So we got the S&P 500 here, and what always happens around this time of year, and it's not a surprise, as they start to take profits, and the middle of the summer is a little bit slow. So we go into that pullback into August and September, and then we get ready for the next ride for the fall in October and November, maybe end of October into November. So that's usually what happens here. That's why we always say that those are the busy times of the year, and the spring, and then we have the summer rally, and then we usually have the fall rally, which is into November sometime. So right now we're pulling back. We're sitting right on the moving average right here on the 20-day moving average with the S&P 500. If we go over to the weekly chart, we are right into resistance. Now 641.29 on the SPY was right into resistance, and there's no this is a pullback, so this is not a surprise by any means, but it is good for a pullback because you want to get discount coming up for the next rally. And look at the selling volume as you see in this area right here. Let's go over to the XLF. XLF, we have again sitting on support here on the 9-day and the 20-day moving average, and you could see how we're just like lingering right in that spot with more of a we're in limbo right now in a sideways kind of move, but we do have a weekly crossing up. So let's see what happens if we get, which is good for the banks because we want to see. But we do have 3 weeks already here of buying. So the 3 week rules. So look how we go 3 weeks, then we pull back. So we had 1, 2, 3 right here, and then as you see it right here, we have 1. We have 2 weeks, we have 3 weeks, and then we could get a 4th week out of it. Let's see what happens with the banks, with the XLF, with the bank basket, SMH. Let's go really quick here, and then we'll get to the stocks. We have the SMH also smacking right into that resistance, 295.50, smacking right into that resistance, and this is on a weekly chart, and we're overbought. Okay, there's no question about it. Let's go to the speculators with the IWM. Now with the IWM, okay, we have a crossover with the weekly, okay, so we could get a little pullback and then head back up and then reach at this 245 range. Now, this was lingering a little behind the market, right? As we see the monthly chart, we're a little exhausted a little bit too, though, and we're going into this area, but we are going into this candlestick from December 2024 with strength, okay? When on the IWM, December of 2024, we had 578 million shares, okay, for the month. Now, we're not even done with the month, and we have 543 on the 21st of the month here, okay? So that's strong going into that area. Now, how we'll know is we're sitting right on a support area, and we see some buying now coming in at support right on the moving average. So let's see if they're going to engulf like they did over in this spot right here, if they're going to engulf and then start heading up and break past this and go to the 232.64. So that's what we're looking for on the IWM. Let's head over to HT, which is Home Depot. So we get up into this area here, and we tag the high was on August 19th, and we had 414.36. Today we closed at 397.70. Okay, now why I like Home Depot here is we came down, we came into this area, we had 1 peak. Okay, we have 2 peaks. So we still, in my opinion, we still have room here to go at Home Depot. Now, Home Depot took a bath, okay, when we got down in this area here in April, okay, of this year. We were down to 327. So make it a little bit of a comeback. And then on November of 2024, we had a high of 439.37. So that's something that we got to just get past. Once we get past this high of 414.36, we could be on the off for the races. Now, we had earnings and we had a blast up. Now, what happens is you'll always get this blast up and then you'll have the pullbacks. You need a blast up right here. Okay? You had a lot of nice volume right before earnings. We get a blast up and then we get the pullback right to support. We get the earnings date right here. Boom. And then bam, right up there. And then they take the profit. Because remember, when they're going to take profit when you're down at 395 and you shoot up in one day to 414. Okay? They're going to take the institutional money is going to take the profit. Now, as you look at the line chart, okay, look at the line chart, you go over here and you see this gorgeous W formation forming, retest W. We got this. We want to see this hold. We got the right side of the W higher, and then bam, we want to go off to the races, okay? We do have some wind behind us, okay? How do we have wind? How do we know we have wind behind us? Let's get out of the line chart and let's look at this. Now, this week so far is not over yet, okay? As we do have a little bit of a reversal candlestick as we get into where? The resistance area, which is right in this. This is a supply area where there's selling, okay? So that's not a surprise, okay? They came up into it and they took the profit. Look at the nice volume here coming up. So you could get that little pullback and then start heading back up again, okay? On the weekly chart, we got one peak and then we got a two peak here. We can pull back, let this moving average catch up, and then boom, we're off to the races. We do have wind behind us because let's look at the monthly chart, okay? On the monthly chart, we have a crossover, okay? Now, this does take time, okay? We do have a crossover right here on the monthly chart. So then look at these. These are beautiful. What do we do when we get two of them in a row? We know we're getting to the upside. Because why? It's a 90% chance when you have these capitulation candlesticks in a row. Okay, 90% chance that you're going up. Okay, we talked about that months ago with Microsoft, remember? When it was pulling back and then when it was going up again. So we have this and we're going to test this top right here, okay? So that is something that we want to continue to keep looking at, okay? Now Home Depot, let's put that on the back burner, okay? Let's go to Caterpillar. Now on Caterpillar, let me show you what's going on here, okay? Now, first of all, was I wrong when I had the massive buying in this area and I saw the volume coming in at 230? In that 230 to 240 range, it closed at 417.89. Now, I'm not the type of person to say that I told you so that way, but I'm just showing you where I saw money coming in, okay? Now, remember, in April, we came down to this point, and we were down in that 274, 273 range, okay? We came off and we touched it, and then we had the capitulation, okay? Now, we came up into the top of this area at the 428.53, which is the resistance area, okay? So, now on Caterpillar, you could see the taking a profit here, okay, as we went into the weekly. Now, on the weekly, I like to see the weekly because it gets rid of a lot of the noise, okay? Look at the increasing selling volume on Caterpillar, okay, over the last, like, the 3 prior weeks, okay? Look at that. Selling, they're more interested in selling Caterpillar up here than buying it. Now, you do pull back to support, and what happens with Caterpillar, a lot of times with Caterpillar, you will get the resurgent buying. So that's what we're waiting for in Caterpillar here, okay? That's what we're waiting for in Caterpillar. Let's go over to, now I want to talk to everybody here about the rare earth mineral stocks, okay? So let's go over to MP, okay? So we're at MP Materials Corporation, okay? I want to just show everybody something here with the leadership now that's in the White House. The difference of how the rare earth minerals are very, very important to the country right now. So look at this situation here. Now, this was the month, this is a weekly chart. This is the week of July 7, 2025, okay? Look at this volume. Now, the average volume down here was in the very, very small, okay? Let me just pull up the volume here. Was in the 30 million per week, okay? The week of July 7th, we had 147 million shares come in, okay? That's no joke. You cannot hide that, okay? That's not something that when you see something like that come in, and then you follow the next week, okay, with 207 million shares. Now, keep in mind, the average was in the 30s, and then we had 1 week we had 64 million on the week of June 2nd. Now you come in with 147 million shares and 207 million shares back-to-back weeks. Okay, you will get dojis after that because you'll get some rest because you do have follow-through volume because the price did go up from there. Okay, because we were at 61 and then at one point we were in the 80. Actually, this topped off at 82.50. Okay, the week of August 11th. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, now we're at 68.28. Okay, so we did pull back here a little bit on MP. Okay, let's go over to the daily chart and where are we at now? Okay, so we come up with that huge surge of buying, and then we get up. Let's stretch this bad boy out, and then we get up into this range, and this high was 82.50. Now we come back and we give a little bit of a discount. Now we look down at let's look down at the volume. Look at the volume now increasing a little at a time for the buying right at the support level. So how do we do that? We're going to go over the 2-hour chart. We want to know what's going on. Is it being supported yet? Are we ready to get back in it? Okay. So right now it's not being supported on the 2-hour chart, but we did have money coming in the last 2 hours of the market. Okay. And buying off a support area, a major support area, okay? So we did have, boom, they're not selling, they were selling it in this spot, but they're not selling it here, okay? So let's see if we're going to get some follow-through on MP. Now, on the rare earth materials, we have CRML. CRML is the symbol, Critical Metals Corporation, okay? Let's go over now, first of all, to the weekly chart. Now, on the weekly chart. Now, this is something that's been a lot higher, okay? So when we go over to the weekly chart on the week of February 26, 2024, we had a high of 22.50. Now, when this thing was in the dumps, we were down around $1.27 a share, okay? And then we came off the bottom here with some massive volume coming in here, okay? On the week of June 16th, okay, we had 19.5 million shares, okay. The average was I think the average was around, let's see what the average was, roughly about 12 million shares, okay. So that's a massive, for 69 million shares, you're talking, that's massive, okay. Then a few weeks later, about, 4 weeks later, you come back in with 53 million shares in this price range. So that's massive, okay? And right now this stock only costs $5.87. I don't like to buy stocks below $5, okay? But look at this, okay? Look at this. All right, this is a cheap stock, but we got a lot of volume coming in here. Okay, look at the monthly chart. Now look at the monthly chart. See it? Look at the volume. Look at the interest here. This is a cheap stock, but look at the interest, okay? This is big, okay? This is a big deal when you're dealing with these numbers, okay? On the daily chart, we have some beautiful buying volume. We have a sideways consolidation right here, and then we want to see if we're going to get a pop. So that's what we're looking for. We'll look at sideways consolidation right here, and then boom, we're going to get the pop. And what is that? That's a W formation. See it? That's a retest W, okay? So that's what CRML. Then we go to METC. Now, METC, okay, we got the Ramaco Resources. That's the rare earth mineral stocks, okay? Now, back to this here, okay? So let's go, because we are about halfway through this. And I still have Apple, Amgen, Amazon, Costco, DHR, TMO, Duke Energy. We got GDX to go through. We got Silver to go through. Microsoft, Procter & Gamble. So we got some stuff to go through here, okay? I just want to give you a little preview of what we're going to be looking at here. METC, Ramaco Resources. I don't even care what the name of the company is, but I see the money. Why? I see the money coming in. How? Okay, I look right here. I know that the average volume per week is about 7 million shares, okay? Then you come in with 16.6 million shares, and then you come in with 34 million shares on the week of July 14th, okay? Now you come up and above it. Now, on the earnings, you had the pullback. You go to your line chart and you want to see if you're getting a retest W here, okay? And that's what we want to see. It doesn't turn into an M here, We don't want the M formation, and then we start heading back down. Okay, we want to see this happen. We want to see we come down, and then we stop, and then we go up. Volume, more buyers than sellers here, right? Look at the massive amount of buyers. Massive amount of buyers right there, okay? So that's something that you have to look at, and you have to keep watching and put that on your watch list, okay? So that's what the rare earth minerals are all about right now. Now let's go over to the big dogs, okay? We're going to go over to Apple right now. And on Apple, okay, we're looking at the weekly chart because we want to see, right, what's going on here. We have more buyers than sellers. We have a surge of energy after earnings on Apple. Okay. Now Apple got torched. Okay. At one point, it was in the toilet. Okay. On the week of April 7th, we were down here all the way down at 169.21. That was a low. Okay. So 224, and then we topped out at a high of 235.12 on the week of August 11th, which was last week. Okay. We have more buyers than sellers. Okay. We're getting a little bit of a pullback here. We got the weekly chart heading up. And then we have the wind behind us because we have a beautiful monthly heading up, okay, on Apple. So on Apple, this is what you want to look for, okay? You came back down into this area down in April. You came back up. We're coming back up here. We got good, solid volume, okay? Now we're coming into here. Now we want to look at volume here. We want to look at the volume. Now we're already into this candlestick from March 3rd. The month of March 3rd, okay? We're not done with this month yet. It's only August 21st with 1.12 billion shares in the month of March, okay? Now we're going into that, we're going to close in that candlestick already with 1.04 billion shares, okay? Now we still have next week. We haven't even got, finished yet, okay? So when we go to the daily chart, I want to see what the average volume. Well, the average volumes kind of fell off because we're getting a little bit of a pullback here, okay? But if we're 42 million shares, okay, we have, 5 days. We have still Friday and then Monday through Friday. So we got 6 days, right? So we're going to want to look at that, want to see what it's going to close out. We have more sellers and buyers up here only because we're getting a pullback here, okay, on Apple. It's going to stop, and then what? Because now look at this. Why is it looking good? Look at the void. Look there. Look at the void in the volume. Look at the massive surge of buying right there. Now it's coming back into this area right here, okay, with much lighter volume. You're pulling back, okay, and you're pulling back with lighter volume. That's a good sign. Remember, it's not exact. Nothing is exact in markets because you get a little hiccup or some kind of crazy event somewhere, and then, that's all out the window, okay? But it just shows you what the institutional money is doing. Are they buying? Are they selling into that spot, or are they going to hold? Okay. So here with Amgen, okay, we get two capitulation candlesticks on Amgen. Okay, now we're on to Amgen, and we're pulling back here. Now we got some dividends coming in on tomorrow. Okay, on Amgen. So now with Amgen, we want this weekly to turn up. Okay. Now on the weekly chart, we're gonna see we came to the bottom. We have one. We came back here. We got two. Now we got three. We want to see this take off and start taking off again on Amgen. How do we know it? We're gonna look at the monthly also. Now we did pull back with lighter volume. We want to see if this monthly is going to support it with the wind behind our back. Okay. Now, we did cross over, but we're like sideways. We have to get enough volume energy to start heading up, okay? We'll look at a 2-hour chart, okay, and we'll see if we're going to ride the rope. And riding the rope means that we're going to ride the moving averages, okay, which especially the 20-day. If we ride, now we do have some selling coming in at the end of the day here, but let's see what they're going to do, okay? Well, that's what's going on with Amazon. Let's go on with Amazon because Amazon is one of the big dogs. And with Amazon, we have, Amazon, we have a weekly that just crossed up. Now, this is a mess over here, so I want to see what's happening. We want this to happen. Now, remember, what we want and what's going to happen are two totally different things. We want to hold the 9-day, and then we want the surge of energy, and then we want to start heading up on Amazon, okay? That's what we're looking for on Amazon. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, okay? But we got to just keep following the money. Okay, we're getting the pullback on the daily chart. Okay, which is a good sign because we want to fill this gap, want to get to the top of the gap. Now, we didn't just get to half of the gap and then fail. Now, if we've got in this area and we got to half a gap right in here and we failed and we started heading back down, we probably would have been in a downtrend still. Okay, but because we came and we filled most of the gap up here, okay, that means this sell area right up here, we're going after it, okay? We do have a little increasing volume, but we are pulling back. Want to see us hold 50-day moving average on the daily chart and then start heading back up. That's what we want to see, okay? That's what we're looking for on Amazon. Time's gonna tell us, okay? We're gonna just follow the money. That's all we do, okay? Just keep following money. That's all we're doing. There's no crystal ball here. We don't care about opinions. We don't care about predictions or anything like that. We're just following what the big guys are going to do. Now, getting in late sometimes is better than getting early, okay? Because when you get in later, you have a little more of a chance of knowing exactly what's going on. Because even in a day trade, you could be sitting here and this candlestick's all the way, and you're like, oh my God, this is beautiful. Candlestick didn't close yet, and then boom. And you get the sell signal here, okay, on Costco. Now, we're watching Costco right now, and if you look at Costco, you have that little capitulation candlestick. Now, let's see what they're going to do with Costco, because we do have pressure to the downside with Costco, okay? You can get these little pops, and then you can come back down, or just go in a sideways area here for a little while. So that's what's happening with Costco. But Costco could always start. Right now, you're pulling back on Costco, okay? I want to show you something on DHR. Now, DHR, okay, the Danaher Corporation, you want to look at what's going on the big picture first. Now, of course, this is no surprise. We tagged on a weekly chart. The 50-day moving average is always a big, strong resistance area, okay? We nailed it, and now we're pulling back. Now, we have support, a major support level right here on a weekly chart. Let's go to a line chart. Now, what happens to the line chart? On the line chart, we're pulling back. We want this on a weekly chart. We want this. Come back, come back, come back, and then boom. And we start heading up, okay? That's something that we're going to keep watching. Why? Why are we watching it? Why do we want to know? Because we like this. Look at the W formation on a monthly chart right there. Look at it. Right there. Boom. Right side higher. Right side of W higher. Now, what happens with the candlesticks? Now, look at this. We're just crossing. We got some incredible energy and volume on DHR, okay, on a weekly chart. So remember, you have pressure up in this area, in this 218 range, okay? You have 203.90 was the close, okay? So let's go over to TMO. On TMO, we have here, okay, we have a monthly. Actually, wait, sorry. We have a monthly chart which is heading up. Now, we could fail. We always have that overhead resistance. You don't want to be buying into resistance areas, okay? You got up and above, which is a beautiful thing, and you got the step up pattern, okay? You got step up, step up, step up, and then step up. That's what we want to see. We want engulfing right here. Boom. Then we want to the upside, okay? On TMO. So TMO, let's go over to the daily chart because that was the weekly chart, pulling back to support. Okay, so it came up, pulled back to support. It's very similar to what it did up in this area, then pulled back. Okay, now it's pulling back again. You got the daily crossing down. We want it to hold the 20-day moving average and then come back up and then break this area. Once it breaks this area, okay, what happens? Psychologically, you have to understand what happens actually, okay? What happens is you have short sellers right in this area, pushing down, right in this spot, okay? Now, when you take off and you come up into this spot right here, and you pass this spot, boom, and you come up, all the shorts right there have to cover, and they start buying. So that happened right here. You had it right here in this spot, came up, then boom, look at the engulfing. And then all the shorts, they start covering, and they start turning, and they go long, okay? So TMO, we're looking at Duke Energy, okay? Here's the Duke, okay? Duke Energy, we got to cross up, but we have two dojis, and Looks like some profit taking, but the weekly chart, we're trying to get back up into this 128 range. Actually, we had a high of, on August 4th, we had a high of 127.85. So that's something that we want to do. If you look at a monthly chart on DHR, we crossed up. Okay, so now we're getting long in the tooth up here. Okay, but we have nice volume on that monthly chart. 2-hour chart is how you're going to manage it. You're going to manage it on a 2-hour chart. You want to see it'll hit moving average, and then boom, you start heading up. Okay, that's what we want to do here. Want to hold right here. Want to hold right in the spot, and then boom. That's what we want to see. Okay, want to get the pop. Sideways consolidation, then the pop. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Do GDX. Okay, GDX. Always remember, just we're following money. We're not. This is not a prediction. This is not a recommendation. This is not an opinion of any sort. We're just following what the big money's doing. Okay. Now remember here, this is a daily chart on GDX. Okay, the gold miners. Okay, right here. Look at GDX. We had a cluster sideways. This is a sideways consolidation. Okay, from this 30. What is that? 56. Range, whatever it is, about 56 to almost 59. Okay, that was a sideways consolidation, down, up, okay, but all the short sellers, all the short guys that are right here pushing this down, this pops up, we get increasing volume, we get a crossover up. What happens? All the guys that are short, now they got to go long. Okay, and then always measure when you usually about how far long this is, how far high you're going to go. Okay, so SLV, got SLV. Now SLV, SLV, you have capitulation candlestick here on a weekly chart. Okay, so you got that coming up here. We're almost done with this. We only have a few more stocks to go. So we came SLV, the silver, we hit the weekly, okay, at the 9-day moving average. This is so strong that it's just holding the 9-day moving average on the weekly chart, okay? Now, when you look at the daily chart, what do you see here, okay? See more accumulation coming here, okay? More accumulation on silver, okay? So don't be surprised if silver retests that top, okay? The last top, which was up in this area, okay, which was almost that 36. Now, if you look at the last time silver was all the way up at that top, it was in that 48 range, okay? It was in that $48 range, okay? So you have to understand that this is a bull market in silver, okay? You can just see it. It's right in front of your eyes. You know why? I'm going to tell you exactly why. And this is how you know, too. Not because of the circumstances, but this is how you know. When you pull back, look at the void in the volume. There's nobody selling here. This is just profit taking, okay? When you pull back and you see this, you see a lot of volume, you're getting a little bit of a small correction, okay? There's a small correction. Holds, and then boom, we're back up. And then look at the increasing volume of buying, okay? When you pull back and you got nothing, what'd you do here? Pull back with decreasing volume, okay? Then what happens here? You come back up, you get decreasing volume, you're going to get a little bit of a pullback, and that's what happened. Okay, and then you'll see, and then you have the void again. See the void right here, and it's holding. Okay, and that's how you know you're in an uptrend. Okay, then you go to Microsoft, the All World Microsoft, which we always kick off with. Okay, now we go to Microsoft, and we're almost done. We have 2 more stocks to go through. Okay, we got Procter & Gamble and Nvidia, really fast. Microsoft, now watch the volume of Microsoft with the little correction here, okay? You're in the sweet spot going down, okay? You got increasing selling volume, you got a reversal candlestick right there, and let's see if we get past the 9-day moving average. If we get past the 9-day moving average, we're going to test the 20-day moving average, okay? Let's see what they do as they're correcting Microsoft right now, okay? And it's just a small correction on Microsoft for now. PG, Procter & Gamble, okay? Now, Procter & Gamble coming off the bottom here. But let's see. We have a weekly heading up, but we have overhead pressure at 162.56. So let's keep an eye on that with the pressure. But we are all the way on the bottom on the monthly chart. So I want to see if this is going to hold in this spot. Now, the last time it got to the 50-day moving average, it bounced right back up, okay, back here, okay. So you can see it right here, okay. Now we're at the 50-day moving average, and we're bouncing a little bit, okay. So that's that. Let's go over to NVIDIA really fast, and then we're going to wrap this up. Thank everybody for watching this. Now, as NVIDIA goes up, okay, on the monthly chart, we do have avoided volume here. We got lower volume up in this area. Of course you do. You have super all-time highs here, okay, on NVIDIA. Now, look at the weekly chart. And go look at the weekly chart, and what does it say? As Richard Dawson used to say, survey says, we got up and above, and now we're going to pull back here. We got some selling volume, okay, and we got earnings. Now, let's see what the earnings are going to do, because last time in May, we got scared out with the earnings. We thought everybody was it was going to be tough, but it wasn't, and it drove that market right up with Microsoft too, right? So that's what happened. Now, really fast, with the monthly chart on NVIDIA, you have to understand that 175.68 in this range, 179, 180 in that range, that's a supply area, it's a sell area, okay? Let's see if we're going to pull back with this lighter volume, and we're going to pull back a little bit. Let's see what happens here. With that said, I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, share my channel if you like the content. Have a wonderful weekend, and happy trading.